Welcome back to Real Nigga News, y'all. News delivered to you by me, a real nigga. Today's video, we're going to be talking about a bomb of a tweet that our president-in-chief put out over the Thanksgiving weekend. It's kind of hard to describe or prepare you for the context of this tweet if you haven't read it already, so we'll just review it together. A very happy Thanksgiving salutation to, first of all, just off of sheer word count alone, you can tell he did not write this because he's not capable of putting this many words together in a single coherent compilation of thought. Someone pre-wrote this for him, and if I had to guess, it would be the resident racist neo-Nazi ghoul, Stephen Miller. But anyway, very happy Thanksgiving salutation to all of our great American citizens and patriots who have been so nice in allowing our country to be divided, disrupted, carved up, murdered, beaten, mugged, and laughed at, along with certain other foolish countries throughout the world for being, quote, politically correct and just plain stupid when it comes to immigration. The official United States foreign population stands at 53 million people. Census, most of which are on welfare, which is not true, from failed nations or from prisons, mental institutions, gangs, or drug cartels, which are all incorrect. They and their children are supported through massive payments from patriotic American citizens who, because of their beautiful hearts, do not want to openly complain or cause trouble in any way, shape, or form. What do you mean they don't openly complain? There are millions of people on Facebook, Instagram, X that are complaining about immigrants falsely receiving aid and whatnot. They put up with what has happened to our country, but it's eating them alive to do so. A migrant, oh, poor racists, we should feel bad for them. A migrant entering, I think whoever shared this cut it off at the wrong spot, but the real migrant population is higher. This refugee burden is the leading cause of social dysfunction in America, something that did not exist after World War II. And this is just a blatant fascist tactic in which you just, and the Department of Homeland Security's official Twitter account has also done this as well, where they've made it blatantly clear that all problems in society are being chalked up to immigrants. Immigrants are the reason why rent is too high, why healthcare is too high, why you can't find a good paying job. It's all immigrants' fault. Nothing to do with the actual people who have caused those problems, like billionaires, corporations, and so on. No, we're just gonna blame the poor, dirty. I don't understand how immigrants can both be poor and lazy and good for nothing, but then they're also taking jobs, they're stealing welfare. It just doesn't make sense. Failed schools, high crime, urban decay, overcrowded hospitals, housing shortages, and large deficits. An example. As an example, hundreds of thousands of refugees from Somalia are completely taking over the once great state of Minnesota. So outright blatant racism. Somalian gangs are roving the streets looking for prey. So we're animalizing the people of Somalia, as our wonderful people stay locked in their apartments and houses, hoping against hope. I don't understand what that means. That they will be left alone. The seriously retarded governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, mind you, again, this is the official account for the president of the United States of America. So if we rewind time 12 years ago, when Obama was in office, can you imagine Barack Obama typing with his two thumbs, calling Donald Trump, or who was the Republican at the time? Paul Ryan, I think his name was, calling him a retard. Tim Walz does nothing either through fear, incompetence, or both, while the worst, quote, congressman/woman in our country that's just congressperson. That's just the word you're looking for. It's congressperson. Ilhan Omar, always wrapped in her swaddling hijab, because she's a Muslim woman, and who probably came into the USA illegally, in that you are not allowed to marry your brother. Oh, we're hitting all the racist tropes today. Does nothing but hatefully complain about our country, its constitution, and how badly she's treated, when her place of origin is a decadent, backward, and crime-ridden nation. Doesn't that mean isn't that a good thing? Like, if a meal is decadent, it's very like desirable, or I don't know, whatever. Backward and crime nation, which is essentially not even a country for lack of government, military, police, schools, etc. I feel like a lot of people, the media, and so on and so forth, is so caught up in Trump using the R slur against Tim Walz that the Islamophobia and racism flung towards Ilhan Omar is just not even given a second thought. And maybe because it's been common, it's been happening ever since she has been inducted into office. But at least there are some potential ramifications for Trump being an absolute piece of shit, because in Indiana, Indiana Republican with disabled child rejects redistricting bid after Trump Walz spat. A Republican state senator from Indiana on Friday said he will vote against President Trump's redistricting effort in his state after the president used a slur demeaning people with disabilities in his online spat with Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Quote, many of you have asked my position on redistricting. State Senator Michael Bohasek, I'm going to say Bohasek or Bohacek, wrote in a Facebook post, quote, I have been an unapologetic advocate for people with intellectual disabilities since the birth of my daughter. Those of you who don't know me or my family might not know that my daughter has Down syndrome. This is not the first time our president has used these insulting and derogatory references, and his choices of words have consequences. Bohacek continued, I will be voting no on redistricting. Perhaps he can use the next 10 months to convince voters that his policies and behavior deserve a congressional majority. Now, if you find yourself asking at this point, what is the redistricting plan that they're referencing? Basically going on in several key states across the country. There are redistricting efforts primarily by Republicans to redraw congressional maps more in favor of basically rigging the system to have more Republican votes and more Republican-leaning counties, so that Republicans can win elections more without exactly representing the populace as it is. A lot of these maps have been challenged in Supreme Court, and some of them have also been held up for a vote for the respective states, societies, or citizens to decide whether or not they want the new maps. And I believe in Indiana, this is exactly what is going on. Bohacek's no vote comes after Trump last week threatened to unleash war on Indiana Republicans over any holdouts against redistricting. He and his allies warned that those Republicans would face primaries if they do not approve of a GOP-favored 9-0 map with the hope of picking up House seats in the 2026 midterm elections. So instead of running on actual popular policies that help people, Republicans are banking on the fact that they can just redraw the maps, thus just shoving people who are going to vote Republican regardless into more blue-ish counties to basically, purple the blue counties. The issue of redrawing Indiana's congressional maps mid-cycle has received a lot of attention and is causing strife here in our state. This is Indiana Senate President pro tempore Roderick Bray. Trump praised the Indiana State House for stepping up to do the right thing, and I hope the Senate finds the votes. If they do, I will make sure that all of those people supporting me win their primaries and go on to greatness. But if they don't, I will partner with the incredible, powerful MAGA grassroots Republicans to elect strong Republicans who are ready to do what is needed to protect our country and make America great again, he wrote on Truth Social. So yeah, we will see what happens with that. But as always, thank you again for sticking around. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all next time. Take care.